the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello and welcome, everybody. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith. We're glad to have you with us on 2K Sport. We're bringing you the Chicago Bulls out at United Center as they'll face off against the Oklahoma City Thunder. And for Oklahoma City, they've been looking like a well-oiled machine and one playing polished basketball as if they were midway through the season. There's a lot to like about what this group has been able to accomplish early on. And here we go, two of the best rebounds.
And a beautiful look at the fountains near Navy Pier on the shores of Lake Michigan. We've got a capacity crowd here at the United Center. Welcome, everybody. Glad you decided to spend your Thursday night with us here at 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan, and here with me tonight, Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke reporting from the sideline. The Bulls start out with the ball. Now a chance, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. The starting five on the floor. So the Thunder five right now. Durant the 3 and Ibaka the 4. Westbrook the point with Waiters at the 2, and it's Cantor in at the 5 down low. Chicago shooting their first free throws of the night.
At the line for the Bulls, 2 shots.
No good on the free throw. Well, it was a season last year of heartbreak and change for the Thunder, narrowly missing the playoffs as the Pelicans beat them out for that 8th position.
Yeah, and they were teetering back and forth on that 8th spot for most of the year. Ultimately, they just couldn't hold on to that final playoff spot.
And he sinks the second.
Guys, for the Thunder, that playoff miss was the first time they didn't make the postseason since their first year in Oklahoma. Fans have really been spoiled with how successful the Thunder have been of late.
Offensive rebound. Good D by Drummond. And here are the Bulls now, defeated by the Hornets in their last game. They'll try to put that one behind them.
And one of the factors, Kevin, that really hurt them in that game, the lack of success at the foul line. We all know how much those free throw woes can cost you.
And it gave those opposing fans a boost every time another foul shot clanged off the rim. I mean, that's an easy way to get the home crowd in your grill.
And oh, here we go. Prince has got it. The fast break chance. Knocked away. Westbrook with the steal. We're about 1 minute into the first. He kicks it to Ibaka. Pass to Durant. Shot clock at 5. And that one's on target from the wing.
And the Western playoffs just, it seemed a bit amiss without having the Thunder involved. Westbrook, I tell you what, he did everything he could to try and carry that injured group into the postseason last year, but it just wasn't to be.
The Thunder have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. Westbrook kicks to Cantor. There's a screen by Cantor. The wide open look for Durant. Connects from 3-point range.
Perfect screen there. Set him up with a terrific look.
Yeah, I like the fact that the setup was good, the screen was solid, but you also have to look at the fact that the defender didn't do his job as well as he could have.
Here is Miles. Rose gets a wide open look. No good off the back of the rim. And pushing it up here. Here is Oklahoma City. And Waiters with the bucket on the assist by Durant.
That is some real serious dime dropping there. Exquisite assist.
Rose kicks to Gasol. They set the screen. Passes it to Rose. And they get it. Rose with another miss.
They're 1 of 4 here to start, looking to get into a flow offensively.
Pass to Westbrook. There's a screen by Cantor. Ibaka with the screen on Rose. Westbrook with a wide open look. Here's Waiters, and it's sent back by Drummond. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
Yeah, way to play in attack mode and get to the line.
And, you know, the defense gets their money's worth on that foul, stopping the layup and not giving up the and one.
Yeah, and a big year for Enes Kanter last season. I mean, traded from the Jazz to the Thunder and finally saw the minutes that he was hoping for.
And Kanter did play well with the increased minutes last season, Clark. Averaged a double-double after the trade.
I think it was a great fit for him in Oklahoma City. He still has work to do, but now that he feels like he's in the right environment, I think we're going to see that great potential of his start to come to fruition.
And Kanter drops them both. Bulls trail by 6. And in this first quarter, about 3 minutes played. Rose gets to Gasol. They set the pick. Dishes it to Miles. Shot clock at 6. Now in the scoring column with that deuce. 1 for 2 this game. The Thunder leading by 4. Outside Durant. It's Drummond with the rebound.
Terrific job that time defending at the rim. I mean, it's not an easy task stopping that fella when he's headed to the bucket like that. Good job.
They get it back. Goes up and lays it nice and easy.
Really, the defense is helpless to stop a layup right there. Just too much of an advantage in terms of the mismatch.
Westbrook passes to Durant. Ibaka outside. Waiters with the ball. 5 to shoot. For 3. That's good, and a nice assist from Durant. Waiters got 5.
It seems that every pass they make is leading to a score here. I mean, that's just exquisite ball movement.
And that's because the ball is looking for the best shot, and it's really paid off for them during the run.
Gasol dishes to Prince. Shot from free throw range. Gasol's shot is good.
He has such a nice touch for a big man.
Yeah, and they've got to figure out a way to get a bigger body on him, because if they don't match up his size, then he's going to continue to work him over the rest of the game.
Oklahoma City moving the ball around, and there's the feed to Westbrook. Durant kicks to Ibaka, and it is flushed down with a nice jam.
Excellent vision by Durant out there. What a nice pass.
Bulls trail by 5. And here's Rose. Had a 24-point outing in their last game against the Hornets in Charlotte.
But his passing just blew me away. I mean, to see him operate their offense that way was a breath of fresh air.
Oklahoma City's gone 2 or 3 from deep so far in this game. There's a screen by Kanter. Westbrook passes to Ibaka. Westbrook with a screen for Ibaka. Here's Waiters. The shot will not go. Now Chicago takes it the other way. Rose against Westbrook. Rose goes in, and the foul on Derrick Rose. That is his first foul of the game. For Oklahoma City, they've gone just a shade under 50% from the field. 5 of 11. Here's Westbrook. And it's Chicago with the rebound. Drummond's got his 3rd rebound on the night.
And here's a look at some stats for Westbrook. Great showing for him last season. Put up about 28 points a game, 8 assists and 7 rebounds. And the numbers, while pretty outstanding, I mean, we've now come to expect that from this guy.
Completely in harmony with what his coach is trying to do there. Just a marvelous all-around talent.
Solomon Hill, he's checked in for Chicago. And he gets it to go.
Boy, such outstanding patience and decision-making for them offensively.
Absolutely. Their ball movement has been outstanding, and they're piling up the assists.
Now here's Gasol. 17 points for him last game against Charlotte.
Yeah, but I also thought the rebounding was impressive. He got some huge boards in that game.
Here's Waiters. They lead by 4. And it's Westbrook again missing. Earlier, Doris Burke spoke with head coach Fred Hoiberg. Find out, DB.
He told me one of the more troubling tasks his team must do is to figure out how to slow down Russell Westbrook. He said that between his explosiveness and ability to change direction, they'll have to have all 5 guys keeping an eye on Westbrook whenever he's on the perimeter.
Thank you, Doris. Let's quickly check out the scoring breakdown here for the Thunder.
And so far, these guys have done a fantastic job finding the opening man and getting some easy baskets.
The other thing that's helped them early tonight are the points they've been able to convert off turnovers.
So for the Bulls, Taj Gibson's checked in for Gasol. Mirotic comes in for C.J. Miles. And it's Brooks in for Derrick Rose. And then for Oklahoma City, Adams, he's checked in for Cantor. Collison comes in for Serge Ibaka. And Anthony Morrow subbed in for Waiters. Timeout is called. First of the game for the Thunder. This game coming on the heels of their win against Toronto.
And with the type of defense they played that day, they were able to cause a lot of mistakes.
Yeah, and causing a lot of turnovers, Greg, as you well know, means cashing in on those opportunities, which really can put a team in a bad way in a hurry.
Chicago making a switch here. Splitters checked in. Now, here's Westbrook. He picked up 18 points in their last win against Toronto. Good. Westbrook's got his second basket of the game.
You know, and Billy Donovan, the Oklahoma City Thunder, were able to pull him away from the college game last season, signed him to a 5-year deal in the middle of last year's playoff.
Here's Mirotic. Pick up by Hill. And Mirotic kicks to Brooks. And again, Chicago. No good. The Thunder leading by 5. Inside, Durant. He dents the rim with a two-handed slam. Wow.
Boy, he threw out some punishment with that two-hand throwdown.
And Clark, now's the time to do it. Continue to attack that rim.
And for Billy Donovan, we were talking about him. He had been with Florida for so long. The Gator program built by him. It'd be a big change. He had been thinking about it, though, before. He almost took, remember that, Greg, the Magic job back in 2007?
You know, there was a change of heart for him with the Orlando gig. And Donovan's done nothing but win at Florida. And he'll have that same pressure to succeed with the high expectations with the Thunder. Not really his best quarter as far as scoring. Let's see if he can eventually get back on track.
Kicks to Brooks. Just 5 to shoot. Kevin Durant with the rebound.
Boy, he blew the easy 2 by profiling, trying to look good. That's a bad decision and poor execution.
From past the arc, score the basket. His 4th. He's only missed 1 of his 5 shots tonight.
They really can't allow him too many open looks like that. I mean, that's just inviting trouble.
Brooks outside. He dishes it to Mirotic. On the mark with the 15-footer. Mirotic has got his first 2 points of the night.
You start hitting a few of those mid-range shots, and it can open up your whole game.
They set the pick. It's Durant on the wing. To the paint. Here's Collison, and he gets the bucket.
Assists like that have typified their effort today. Terrific ball movement.
Really a prime example of the difference in how these teams have operated offensively. Much more individual play at the other end.
Here's Mirotic following the score by Oklahoma City. Splitter sets a screen for Hill. A 3-pointer off the mark. The Thunder leading by 7. Westbrook with it. He's picked up by Brooks. Feeds to Durant. Shoots from 14, and Oklahoma City again with the bucket.
Really just a tremendous day for him. And if you remember, he was just as good in their last game.
Chicago calls timeout. And as the coaches go to the clipboard to outline their strategy during the timeout, the players getting a chance to rehydrate with some Gatorade. That's key to staying fresh all the way to the final whistle.
And Kevin, it really is. And every one of these players knows it. They're all making sure to stay hydrated. It's impossible to play your A game if you're not getting enough to drink, especially towards the end of games when the physical toll of a long contest really starts to add up.
Here's Gibson. Kevin Durant picking up that last basket. Gibson setting the pick for Brooks. Shoots off the screen. And the shot no good, a bit short.
Hey, they got the shot they wanted off of that pick, but it just doesn't fall.
Yeah, it didn't go down, but you'll take that shot every single time, Greg. That's good offense.
I mean, even from over here, you can see that one pretty clearly.
No question about it, Greg. I mean, a ton of contact and a good call by the official.
And who could forget the tear that Westbrook went on last season? I mean, after the All-Star break, it was just triple-double after triple-double for him.
That's also good, so he hits both free throws. Well, Greg, for Westbrook, as you were talking about him, the triple-double stretch included 4 in a row. He had 6 triple-doubles, Clark, in 8 games. He was sensational.
Yeah, it really was, Kevin. And what's even more amazing was that he was very close to a triple-double, even on the nights he didn't get one. Man, he's a guy who showed you what it means to carry a team.
Now a timeout called by Oklahoma City. Last season, the Bulls were a tough matchup, solid margin of victory for them, and never looked overwhelmed, Clark.
Yeah, you know what? They're a team that's even-keeled, the type of team that can win anytime they take the floor. They have a system that works and good talent, actually excellent talent to make it special. And that combination is a winning one.
Here's the 2K leaderboard with last season's best free throw shooting teams. The Bulls third.
Boy, Kevin, I thought their coach really did a fantastic job of getting all of the guys on the team to realize the importance of free throws. You know, last year where they were great, excellent from the line. This year, they're hoping to do even better.
Chicago on defense. 9-point game. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2.
And you talk about the Bulls being able to beat anybody in the league. They did. They did that last season. One of only 3 teams to register 1 win against every other team in the league back in 2015.
And, you know, getting back to that point about the Bulls beating every team in the league, only the Spurs and Warriors were the other teams to do that. Goes to show just how tough last year's Bulls squad was.
Both free throws good from Westbrook.
So far in the game for Westbrook, he's already got 8 points. And he's done his job at the charity stripe. He's gotten 4 of his points from there.
And that's a good place to get them. They don't come easier than that, but you've got to get yourself there first.
Now here's Brooks to the inside. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. And for most of his career, Taj Gibson has been a tremendous role player up front. GA, he's been extremely steady over 6 full seasons.
And Kevin, he gives you a lot of energy and athleticism when he enters the game. He's got the great length with that 7'4" wingspan. But to me, it's not just about having it. It's about the fact that he utilizes it. And it really allows him to get in there and attack the backboard and contest shots.
And both free throws good from Gibson.
Yeah, you know, talking about Gibson, he started 70 games his first year and made the all-rookie team. But thereafter, had been mostly a 6-man off the bench through last season. It happens, but it's still somewhat unusual for a guy to go backwards like that.
Here's Morrow, looking for his first basket still in this one. The open shot, Durant. Here's Adams, and the layup is good. And the Thunder lead by 11.
Rebounding is going to be the focal point for them in this one, fellas. I can feel it.
You know, it always is, and it has been so far, and they've gotten a nice edge on the glass.
Splitter, 1 up, 1 down, 2 points with his first shot this game.
And talking about Gibson, if he ever wants to be seen as a high-level starter, he needs to work on a few things. More bankable moves in the post, more fluid post game, if you will, and really increased strength and consistency. I think those things will carry him to that starting five.
Now Brooks following Durant's 3-point attempt. About 7 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City. Here's the screen, and here's Westbrook from the arc. The shot, no good. And we reached the end of the first quarter. Oklahoma City out in front. They lead by 9. And we'll be back shortly for the start of the second quarter. And Kevin Durant, former MVP, still feels like he has room to grow, and he gives us...
I think it's another level I can go to. You know, always can be better. That's how I look at things. Teammates need me more than ever now. Coaches need more from me, so I got to dig deep and see where I can find it from.
Well, the will seems to be there, Greg, but Kevin Durant seems surrounded by uncertainty. Can he get that and stay healthy for the entire season? How does he work with his new coach? Where does he really want to be?
You know, the truth is, no one but Kevin knows the answers to those questions. And quite frankly, he may not know right now what those answers are. He's a very unique and introspective kind of guy, as we all saw when he accepted that MVP award a couple of years ago. So let's just stay tuned on this one.
Well, not exactly a close game so far, but as the second quarter starts here, plenty of time for a comeback. And for the guys, what stands out to you so far?
It's been a point of emphasis, no doubt, to make sure they attack the rim offensively.
I love the fact they're not settling for outside shots. Keep attacking that rack.
So for Oklahoma City right now, inside you've got Ibaka and Kanter. Westbrook the point with Waiters at the 2, and it's Morrow in at the small forward. Down low, here's Kanter, and it's sent back by Drummond. That's his second shot and his second basket. He's 2 for 2.
He always knows where his teammate's going to be, and Kevin, that will let him put the ball where he wants it, right waiting for him.
Here's Morrow, guarded by Prince. Morrow dishes to Kanter. Down to 5 on the shot clock. From 18 feet away. And it's Kanter again missing.
You're not going to see that very often. Plenty of space, but he just, let's face it, he whiffs on that.
Westbrook against Rose. Jumper off the screen. Again, Chicago.
Good display of physicality by Gasol to set that shot up.
Ibaka with the screen on Rose. It's Westbrook with the drive. And again, no good by Oklahoma City. Bulls trail by 5. And Miles kicks to Drummond. Prince, right side. Count the bucket coming off a perfectly placed assist. Prince has got his first 2 points.
4 of their last 5 makes came off of a high-quality shot inside.
Textbook. Really, when you look at how they're playing, they are having their way down low.
Ibaka, the pass to Waiters. To the middle. It's tipped and stolen by Drummond. Here is Miles. He's covered by Westbrook. Miles dishes to Gasol. The shot is off. The Thunder leading by 3 and stolen by Prince. Here's Miles. Tries again. And Gasol lays it in. Gasol's got his second bucket of the night. And guys, what do you think about the hustle stats here for the Bulls?
Well, I think the defensive aggressiveness on display here has caught him off guard, playing airtight defense and coming up with the steals.
And the other thing they've done well is they've run the shooters off their sweet spots. They've really closed out well and forced them to put the basketball on the floor.
Whatever their plan was defensively that time, it didn't work. Not if it results in that shot.
Rose goes in. Gasol up top, stolen by Waiters. Morrow kicks to Westbrook. That jam! I mean, just beautiful.
And guys, that's a big swing right there. I mean, taking the steal and then turning it into 2 easy points on the dunk.
No telling how important that sequence could turn out to be.
And guys, in a game this snug, moments like that are the ones we usually look back on at the end as a difference maker.
And the highlight reel replay brought to you by Kia. Good stuff on that Kia Slam Cam.
And for this quarter, he's improved on what was already a very good performance in period number 1.
There's the pass to Morrow. Here's Here's Ibaka, and he battles for the ball and gets the second chance bucket. Ibaka's got 8 points.
Just not enough bodies on the glass right there, and they paid for it.
Well, Greg, I know you're a little guy, but you know what it means to box out, and it's an effort thing and a mindset deal. You got to get your body between that other player and the ball.
There's a screen by Cantor. Ibaka with the screen on Rose. And here's Westbrook from the arc. Another miss by Westbrook. We know Oklahoma City has the stars, the big names, the offensive flair. But, you know, Greg, this team, and you appreciate this, is a very tough defensive group.
Yeah, I think they've matured in that area. In the past, that wasn't always true. But last year, the Thunder really hung their hat on their defense. Top 10 in opponents' field goal percentage.
The dish tomorrow. Lets it go from 14. And the jumper is good. And the Thunder lead by 3. For Chicago, they've gone 8 of 10 from the field here in the second quarter. You've got to like how they've shot the ball. Rose passes to Gasol. Here's Drummond. Makes it off the glass. Drummond's...
C.J. Miles. At the line for the Bulls, 2 shots. Assistant, Dion Waiters. Tiago Splitter. At the line for the Bulls, 2 shots.
a pretty tightly contested game here as we end the first half. Thunder lead by 1. And now let's catch up with Doris Burke, who's standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Yes, Kevin, I'm here with Russell Westbrook. And Russell, how confident are you that regardless of what defender you see in front of you, you can get what you want?
Very confident. I have a lot of confidence in myself. I put a lot of work in the summertime, but I'm very confident.
Russell, thank you so much. Kevin, hard work pays off.
All right, Doris, thank you. And we'll be back after halftime for the start of the third quarter.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here again with Kenny Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. We welcome you back to the 2K Sports Halftime Show. A tremendous start for Kevin Durant. He ended up with 17 points, 5 assists, and 2 rebounds. Kenny, let's get your take on Oklahoma City.
Well, give them credit for getting out on that fast break. They made a concerted effort to run every time. Not once, not twice, every time, and it paid off in points. I also thought it wore down the defense.
How about you, Shaq? What did you think about Chicago?
Well, how about that contribution they got from the bench? Nice. Those are some much-needed points, and it keeps them right in the game. I would be surprised to see him dig a little deeper into that bench. Some games you just got to go with the lineups that are working and just improvise, Ernie.
All right, that is going to wrap up our halftime report as it's just about time for the start of the third quarter.
The third quarter now beginning. Both sides looking to pull away in the last half of the game.
Durant doing all sorts of things. He has 17 points, and he sprayed home 3 3-pointers as well.
This is really production personified from long range.
Tayshaun Prince out there with Pau Gasol. Then there's Andre Drummond. Then there's Derrick Rose. And it's Miles in at the 2. That's the 5 out there for the Bulls.
And for Russell Westbrook, a heroic effort last season, but not necessarily an efficient one. He averaged 28 points a game, which led the league, but shot a 5-year low of 43% to get those points. And he led the league in turnover average, but that's also because he's got such a high volume usage now with all the injuries.
Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. Greg, on the topic of Westbrook, no one's questioning his heart and his will. It was unbelievable what he did after Durant went down. But Clark, the truth is, it's hard to make the playoffs playing inefficient basketball.
No, I agree. I mean, there are certain guys who are catalysts and other guys who make things happen. And Iverson, Ginobili, Russell's old teammate, James Harden. Those guys make things happen, and you have to live with some of their inefficiency at times.
And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time. And guys, Serge Ibaka's production was just a little off last season. We're not talking, big number changes. We're talking small dips in a number of categories.
Well, one category where he did really fall off, though, Kevin, was field goal percentage. A career 53% shooter, he dropped down to 47.
Durant, and the bucket counts, and he's on his way to the free throw line. Try to make it a 3-point play.
Yeah, outstanding job there of taking the harm and still able to finish.
Yeah, he imposed his will on the defense that time. He was not going to be denied right there.
And getting back to Ibaka, everything changed for him the minute Kevin Durant was lost last season. I mean, defenses could focus on him, and he was the Thunder's only front court scoring threat. And as much as he's improved on offense, he still has neither the flexibility nor skill set to be a guy that can be considered a first or second option offensively.
And Westbrook, here we go, deflects the pass, and it's going to be out of bounds. The Thunder will retain possession.
Oh, nice play there to get a hand on that pass and tip it out of bounds.
Just a whisker away from coming up with the steal there.
90 seconds now into the second half. And Waiters kicks to Durant. From outside, off the mark.
Talking about Ibaka, last season was good for his growth. I mean, he got a taste of what it's like to be the first or second scoring option rather than an afterthought. Now it's up to him to take that experience and convert it into improvement.
Waiters gets a wide open look. And again, no good by Oklahoma City.
That's a look you cannot pass up. It's also one you shouldn't miss.
Rose passes to Prince. Gasol kicks to Prince. Shot clock at 6. Rose against Westbrook. Kept alive. Gasol. And it's all evened up. Gasol's got 4 points in the quarter.
And the road back into this game wasn't a short one, but they've managed to make it all the way back and tie this thing up.
And Greg, I've got to admit to you, I did not think they were going to get all the way back. I thought they were done. They've shown some serious resilience and character to battle this far back.
So many people overlook Pau Gasol prior to last season, seemed to think that Clark, he was past his prime.
Well, he was a starter in the All-Star game and a huge reason the Bulls played as well as they did. It was a big season for him. A lot of GMs shaking their head for not going harder after him.
Anthony Morrow's checked in for the Thunder. Now here's Westbrook. 12 points for him. Shot clock at 6. Morrow kicks to Cantor. Some nice passing by Oklahoma City here. Near the three-point line, it's Westbrook. Some solid defense from Rose.
You know, and with Pau Gasol, it was weird to think that the Lakers were just so ready to let him go and move on.
They're forcing the ball inside, and it's working beautifully.
It really is. 5 out of 6 of their last field goals have come from the paint.
And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Westbrook.
That is just a careless turnover. You've got to be smarter in those exchanges.
Time called here. The Bulls decide to talk it over.
And with the skill set that Pau has and the year he had, there's no telling how long he can play at a high level. Again, one of those guys that never been reliant on the athletic ability to have an impact. Looking now at some numbers for Rose, how he did last season. Averaged 17 points a game, 5 assists, and 3 rebounds. And I think he's got to be pretty pleased with his output. And you know he's always looking to push himself.
Yeah, really solid numbers across the board here, Greg. He contributes in a multitude of ways for this club.
Chicago leading. He feeds it to Miles. Good-looking screen by Gasol. Passes it to Prince. Westbrook against Rose. Just 5 on the clock. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City. Westbrook's got 3 rebounds so far in the game. Durant in the corner. Durant drawing the double team. Pass to Morrow. He kicks it to Cantor. Dishes to Durant. Nails the 16-footer. Durant's got 25 points. Bulls have gotten 5 of 8 shots to fall for them in the third quarter. A nice 62% from the field. Gasol a screen. Rose kicks to Drummond. Use that pick to get in close. Drummond's got 4 points this quarter.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
And on the flip side, Greg, the defenders have to show more fight on the interior. They've got to offer more resistance here.
Durant with it. He's picked up by Drummond. Durant attacking, and that one's good. He's got 27.
And he's starting to show that killer instinct this quarter, looking to extend the lead.
Outside Rose. Shot by Prince. Can't get it to go. So the Thunder will take it the other way. They've led by as many as 11 points. Now the feed to Morrow. There's a screen. Kicks it to Durant. There's a screen by Cantor. Durant with a screen on Rose. Westbrook against Rose. Westbrook, no good. Bulls have gone 6 of 10 from the field in the third quarter. Here's Rose. He's got 10. Teardrop shot, and he gets it to go. Rose has got 12 in the game.
They're getting on a roll inside. Their last 3 field goals have come from inside the paint area.
There's got to be a wall of defense when it comes to attacking the paint. Plain and simple.
Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give them 2 chances at the free throw line here.
And for all the flash and dash in Oklahoma City over the past few years, Serge Ibaka silently goes about his business. While all eyes are on the megastars, Durant and Westbrook, Ibaka lurks around like a jaguar. I mean, finding opportunities to exploit any weakness in the opposition.
Chicago making some changes. Wright comes in for Tayshaun Prince, and it's Hill in for C.J. Miles. And a switch here also for Oklahoma City. McGary's checked in for Enes Kanter. Good on both. Talking about Ibaka, he does so many things that help his team. The little things that always make a difference, even with his superb free throw shooting, up to a remarkable, Clark, 84% last year.
Yeah, but, you know, Ibaka had an injury of his own. As much as people talked about Durant's injury, the knee soreness Ibaka had cost him 18 games last year, so that was tough for him. Boy, just by his body language, Kevin, you can tell he thought that triple was going to fall.
Yeah, it seemed like he had great rhythm on that. You can see the disappointment in his face.
And Westbrook gets it to go. Here's Rose. 12 points for him. And another field goal in his total, make it 7 for 14, shooting 50%.
Some defensive breakdowns are starting to show up now. Their last 4 buckets allowed have come from very close range.
Yeah, high percentage shots are what they are getting in terms of the attempts, and that's just not going to get it done. They've got to figure it out.
Durant against Wright. And out of bounds as the Bulls gain possession. While there's a break in the action, let's take a look at the players who had the most steals in the league last season. Russell Westbrook is second.
He showed such tremendous defensive instincts. Trust me, nobody wanted him guarding them last year.
Chicago trailing here. Rose kicks to Gasol. That's good. Neither side has relented a bit in this back-and-forth affair.
Well, 8 lead changes, Kevin, so far as the teams are battling it out here in the third.
And you can sense the energy in the building already as this game is starting to build towards having a terrific finish.
Well, the Bulls shooting it really well. 54% from the floor. Rose with the ball. Westbrook picks him up. They set the screen. Good-looking screen by Gasol. A wide-open look here for Wright. Here's Drummond, and it's sent back by McGary. And here we go with Morrow running it up the court. Rose with the block. And it's out of bounds to the Thunder as Oklahoma City retains possession. So for the Bulls, Splitters checked in for Andre Drummond. Gibson comes in for Pau Gasol. And Brooks subbed in for Rose. Steven Adams, he's checked in for the Thunder. He dishes it to McGary. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2.
Well, let's take a look at how Oklahoma City ranked in the league last year. First in rebound, first and second chance points, and they were one of the NBA's top 5 up-tempo teams. I mean, their pace of play really brisk. Only a few squads scored more on the fast break than they did.
And you touched on their rebounding, just prolific in that area. Tremendous energy and physicality when attacking the glass.
Last year, the Thunder were in a playoff battle all season, Clark. Their road record of 16-24, a big part of why they didn't sneak into the playoffs.
Well, when you're dealing with the kinds of injuries the Thunder had last year, it's impossible to be your best, and grinding out road wins is that much tougher.
And he sinks the second.
And really with the Thunder and their road problems last season, both Phoenix and New Orleans had better road records than they did. And had the Thunder been tougher on the road, no doubt they would have made it in.
Brooks outside. Splitter sets a screen for Brooks. Shot clock at 6. And Wright kicks to Hill. Here's Splitter. It's hauled in by Adams. Adams has got 4 rebounds in this game.
You know, the Thunder had road trouble right out of the gate last season, guys. Only had 1 road win in their first 9 road games. They also had 4 different instances of 4 or more game road losing streaks last season.
Morrow kicks to Collison. Near the three-point line, it's Westbrook. Good, and the assist goes to Collison. 16 points for Russell Westbrook. The Bulls shooting it quite well in this third quarter, 53%, and the offense is rolling. Gibson with the screen on Westbrook. Brooks kicks to right, takes a 3. The rebound by McGarry. McGarry's got his 3rd rebound on the night. Outside Westbrook. Inside, here's Adams. That's good. Now it's a 4-point Thunder lead.
That's the kind of aggressive and assertive play they need as we get closer and closer to crunch time.
You're right, Clark. Just continue to pound it in the paint and get those easy points inside.
And Gibson sends it back. And oh, here we go. Brooks got it, the fast break chance. And the basket by Hill.
And he placed that pass out in front of him and let him just run into it in rhythm.
Oklahoma City has gotten blank from three-point land so far in the third. Still 0 for 3. Westbrook drives in, shoots from the baseline. Here's Adams. It's hauled in by the Bulls. Splitter's got 4 rebounds now tonight. Gibson the screen. In the corner, right with it. Thunder with the rebound. They've led by as many as 11 points. And going against Chicago, their first meeting of the season.
And this is the first of 2 games between the two, East versus West, so they don't see a whole lot of one another.
Yeah, and Greg, for me, that just raises the intrigue level. Some matchups we don't get to see that often, so I'll be watching this one closely.
Now a timeout called by Oklahoma City.
And, you know, guys, Taj Gibson now has 6 full seasons in the NBA, already 30 years old. Seems like just yesterday he was being drafted.
All right, here's a look at stats for Hill. Last season's performance for him. Last season put up about 9 points a game, 4 rebounds and 2 assists. And you look at those numbers, not bad, but guys, I think he can do better, and he knows it.
And he has high expectations for himself as well, guys, but he just hasn't delivered fully on his potential yet.
Mirotic is checked in for Chicago. And Oklahoma City with a change here, too. Waiters is checked in. Adams against Splitter. Down low. Goes up off the pick. And finished off by Collison.
Went for the two-hander on that slam. That's where the weight room comes into play, Kevin.
I think some urgency from him there.
I think he's sensing that this is a critical time in the game, fellas.
Here's Brooks. And it's blocked by Adams. Brooks against Westbrook. 55 seconds left in the third. Here's McGarry. Finds himself wide open and drills it. And it's a 4-point Thunder lead. And Chicago shooting 49% on the game. They'll take that. Kiwi Steven Adams, one of the toughest players down on the block.
And Kevin Adams is not afraid to get under somebody's skin. He's pretty strong defensively, too.
And, you know, guys, that's one of the things I like about Adams. I mean, he'll draw the ire of opposing players just because of how he approaches the game.
That's good from Gibson.
Yeah, and guys, Adams doesn't want to be known as a dirty player. I mean, I think he feels he plays aggressive and he hustles, and that sometimes rubs players the wrong way.
Off on that one, so he goes 1 for 2 at the line.
You know, guys, one of the things that is always going to keep you competitive against the West is a good defense. It's one reason why the Bulls tend to be a tougher matchup for teams from the West, because they do D up.
Inside, tipped away. It's stolen by Adams. Now 8 seconds separating the 2 clocks. There's a good screen. Westbrook drives in. McGarry, no luck.
And the D does just enough to throw off his rhythm on that shot.
And that one's good. Hill's got 4 points in the quarter.
no doubt that is within his range.
Well, I would hope so. He's a pro, and it was only a one-footer. Come on now.
Right wing. Collison kicks to Westbrook. 1 second left. No good, trying to beat the buzzer. And we just finished the third quarter, and we've got a tight ball game here. Oklahoma City out in front. They lead by 1. And when we return, we'll get the fourth quarter rolling right here on 2K Sports. All right, the fourth quarter of action getting underway. We've had a great one so far with both sides coming to play. Chicago trailing here. And Oklahoma City looking who they've got to start the fourth quarter. Westbrook the point with Waiters at the 2. Inside, you've got Ibaka and Canner. And it's Durant in at the small forward.
That's a shot he's got to hit. You don't get many looks better from that range.
Screen by Ibaka. Cantor sets the pick for Durant. To the paint. Puts up the baby hook. A tad short, but it's good off the front iron. Cantor's got the first field goal of the fourth quarter here for Oklahoma City. Now Rose. Drummond the screen. Prince against Durant. Out to the wing. 5 to shoot. Miles. And he gets it to go from the corner. Fourth quarter just getting started. 1 minute in the books. Westbrook with it. There's a screen by Cantor. Westbrook dishes to Durant. Back to Westbrook. Some solid defense from Rose.
Oh, tough D on the inside.
It sure was, Greg. No easy access to the basket when that fella's in the middle.
The Thunder with the lead. Westbrook with it. And Rose picks him up defensively. Outside Durant. Screen by Ibaka. Outside Durant. Takes the 3. And that one's good. Durant's got 30 points.
And it looks to me like he still has some of the shooting touch that he displayed in the first.
Clark, they've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a little bit of cottonmouth here. Dry spell for sure.
Rose kicks to Gasol. Feeds to Rose. They set the pick. And here's Prince outside. No good. And Oklahoma City will go with it the other way. On up the court. Good. 18 points for Russell Westbrook.
Even though there's a height disadvantage, he's still able to go up and over his man.
Well, he's fearless. I mean, there's nothing that concerns him. No matter what the matchup is, he's a guy that doesn't back down. He's beyond being intimidated.
And with that, the Thunder lead is cut down now to just 4 points with the basket from Gasol.
And you're starting to see some tired legs on those defenders as we come down the stretch here.
Westbrook kicks to Ibaka. Fires from 14. Another shot, and Cantor with the lay-in. Good. Cantor's got 4 points this quarter.
Another bucket in the paint. That's something they just have not been able to stop today.
Yeah, the defense is all about disrupting timing and spacing, and what they've got going right now is not getting it done.
Chicago calls timeout.
And injuries, once again, were a central theme of the Bulls season last year. Losing Rose was one thing, but then having Jimmy Butler lose a lot of time put them in such a tough spot.
Doris Burke has some information for us. Doris?
Well, Kevin, I was able to listen in on what the head coach of the Chicago Bulls was going over in his huddle. They're getting outshot from the perimeter. He told them, we've got to close out faster on the outside shooters. These threes are killing us. Kevin, can they tighten their D?
And for the Bulls and injuries, a lot of teams plan for these type of things. There's only so much Clark you can do to mitigate losing your starting backcourt.
But I tell you, great respect and admiration for the Bulls for how they fought through the difficulty. I mean, their front court did what they could. The injuries, once again, I thought turned the Bulls from championship contenders to just a playoff team. Tayshaun Prince, one of the ultimate Velcro guys. I mean, he's been in the league a long time, the consummate pro. as detailed, steady, and unflappable as they come.
Good on the second free throw. And back to Tayshaun Prince for a moment. So much big game experience, a championship in 04 with the Pistons. That has to rub off on a team when you have a guy like that around in the locker room, on the floor. He's seen it all.
You know, it's a great point. And whether it's in games or practice or even in the locker room, his presence adds continuity. It's like having an extra coach looking out for the younger players.
You can see the leadership qualities on display right there, guys.
You know, he's their coach on the floor. There's no doubt about that. A great communicator, a great teammate, and as you mentioned, Kevin, a tremendous leader.
He's off on the second.
And Dion Waiters traded last season to the Thunder. They wanted him as a shooting and scoring threat off the bench. Didn't want him to try and fill the void that Harden played when he was a member of the team. Feeling it. No doubt about it. He's definitely feeling it right now. Shooting a terrific percentage from the field.
Back to Westbrook. Double team on Westbrook. No one near him. And that one swishes right in. Westbrook's got 20 points. You know, Greg, for Waiters, it would be unfair for the Thunder to ask that of anybody. You know, that's tough to do. Clark, hard to make up what Harden had accomplished.
Yeah, and the Thunder even asked Waiters not to wear number 13 to avoid any comparisons, which I think was a smart move. But they still would like to have him provide some punch in terms of points off the bench.
And a look now at how the offensive approach has been going here so far for the Thunder.
Guys, the passing we've seen from them has been tremendous. Very unselfish.
And also, their mid-range game has been impressive. A tough shot to rely upon, but they really had it going tonight.
That's also good. So he hits both free throws. Well, you look back on the Thunder last season, and the theme was injuries. Too many injuries to the bulk of their core.
And, you know, the big three, Durant, Westbrook, and Ibaka, all missed significant time. Only Westbrook of those three was able to finish the season.
Durant attacking. Gasol with the rebound. Gasol's got his 7th rebound of the game with that last one. Gasol setting the pick for Rose. And the pass to Gasol. A timely screen gave him a step, and he took it all the way. Gasol's got 14 points here in the second half.
And listen, those injuries really did the Thunder in. I mean, at no time during the season did they ever really get a chance to gel and play any stretch of games with their entire roster.
Outside Rose. The dish to Drummond. The shot no good. Excellent D from Cantor.
You know, every franchise will have a year that is just lost to injuries. I mean, it happens. The hard part of it for the Thunder is that it happened while so many of their stars are in their prime.
Outside Durant. Pass to Ibaka. And it's out of bounds. And they say it was last touched by Durant.
And that's just carelessness there. I mean, you have got to have your head in the game.
And Chicago has possession, trailing by 4. Here is Miles. He feeds it to Rose. And he elevates, and then the slam. Cantor did not like that.
And that's a punch to the jaw. This game as tight as it can be, and he pulls something off that we might not even see in the All-Star game, Kevin.
But Clark, I don't know that he planned it out too far in advance. That was one of those things that you know, just happened.
I think it was premeditated.
I really don't. I think that he's one of those guys that just plays off of instinct, and they don't mind him making those kinds of plays, even in a close game.
And that was Kia bringing you the close-up on the big-time play.
That's some grit and determination in the post. Essential qualities to have late in the close game.
Exactly. This is the time to attack on the interior and convert those easy opportunities.
passes it to Durant. Again, Oklahoma City.
He has really punished these defenders today. No matter who's been on him, he's been giving them medicine.
Here's Drummond, and fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot two. That's on Enes Kanter. Drummond, a bit of a disappointing season last year. Not so much in play, but people wanted to see a bigger leap from him. Now, his numbers are still pretty jaw-dropping. But I think he's got so much there to give.
He has a lot of potential, Kevin. And listen, I don't think his play was bad. He just had such huge expectations to live up to. I mean, player development is not a straight line, and it would have been very hard to have him take another huge leap forward. Sometimes you have that sophomore jinx. But I'm expecting a big year from him this season.
You know, for Drummond last season, his numbers were relatively the same. The expectations placed on him were so hard for him to live up to. Maybe now those will be tempered a bit and he'll play better.
And here's Rose. To the inside. It's stolen by Ibaka. Durant, the pass to Westbrook. Kanter with a screen on Prince. No good from Durant.
And another thought on Drummond, a lot more was expected of him last year, and he saw more attention. Even though his numbers were close to the same, I really felt his impact on the floor was not.
It looked like that was going to be blocked, but then he pulled the Houdini act and flipped it in for the score.
Westbrook kicks to Ibaka. Kanter sets the pick for Ibaka. Here's Waiters. No good on the three.
He's not exactly striping them from deep. He had 1 3 ball in the first half, still bageled in the second.
To take the lead, Rose. It's deflected. They get it back, and he gets it to go.
All of the scoring in tight is coming at that end of the court.
You know, they found the holes in the defense and really doing a great job of exploiting them.
Right side, Durant. The 10-footer misses off the right iron.
They really depend on him to convert those chances. A lot of times, even with solid D draped on him, they expect him to make it.
Rose dishes to Miles. It's Drummond, high post. Rose kicks to Miles. Yes, and it's Rose with the assist that time. And now a 4-point Chicago lead. The Thunder have got a pretty good rhythm going offensively, shooting 8 of 15 for the quarter. Pass to Ibaka. Screen by Ibaka. For 3, Westbrook. It's Drummond with the rebound. The Bulls leading by 4. Rose with the ball. It's Ibaka picking him up. Here's Gasol. Can't hit. Excellent D from Kanter. Oklahoma City has gotten just 1 of 4 3-pointers to go down for them here in the fourth. Here's Westbrook. Bank shot. No good.
That's a shot he's got to hit. You don't get many looks better from that range.
Rose attacking. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've had a number of empty ones, a long time without a basket.
I got to find something. You're right.
And they'll be counting on even more points from him. That's essential if they're going to pull this game out.
Gasol, a screen on Westbrook. Here's Rose. That's tipped. Now here's Waiters. Dishes to Kanter. And Ibaka kicks to Durant. And that one goes in as he is fouled. It'll be 3 points if he converts at the line.
Great move to get to the rim. I think they're going to take the aggressive approach down the stretch.
And the Thunder making a switch here. Adams checked in. And that drops, so they now lead by 1.
He's got such a smooth stroke, and it never changes, even in this kind of a high-pressure situation.
Chicago calls timeout. We've seen Kevin Durant really having a great game.
He's been absolutely on fire from outside. You got to get into his jersey, get up into him, force him to pass or drive.
Westbrook. Rose against Westbrook. And it's Rose missing. They've been doing a great job of sharing the ball.
Excellent display of team play.
And guys, Sade comes to mind for me because right now that offense, it's a smooth operation.
Sade, I like that, Greg.
He doesn't hit the first, and that was the one they really wanted. He's got one more, though.
Of course, he didn't have an attempt there in the first half. He's hoping to be a little bit more active and aggressive here and draw some fouls here in the second.
Gasol screen. Rose kicks to Miles. 1:29 left in the fourth quarter. The feed to Gasol. 4 on the clock. Here's Rose. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Rose has got 6 points in the quarter. And guys, here in the fourth quarter, still a close game.
Yeah, and actually still too close to call. I mean, this one is tight.
Instant classic, fellas. This one could come right down to the last shot.
Time called here. The Thunder decide to talk it over. They're losing by 1. 1:19 left in the game. Outside Durant, and stolen by Drummond. Rose passes to Miles. It's Chicago with another bucket.
He's been a different guy here in the second half. His shooting percentage far better than it was before the break.
Time called here. The Thunder decide to talk it over. They trail by 3. 1:05 left in the fourth quarter. .05 left in the fourth quarter. Durant, no good. Chicago's gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the fourth. Westbrook against Rose. He kicks it to Gasol. And there's the foul. It's on Steven Adams.
That's his first personal foul. 4th team foul.
Seconds left in the fourth quarter. Gasol dishes to Prince. Fires from 14. Rose with another miss.
And he rushed that one, no doubt about it. The D out of position.
Look at that jam. Beautiful.
Somebody lit a fire under Kevin Durant.
We can probably expect to see him slow it down now.
Yeah, you got the lead. Burn some clock here.
Smart move.
Yep.
And there's the 3-second violation.
And you can tolerate gaffes like that sometimes, but in a close game, man, I tell you what, that really hurts.
Now a timeout called by Oklahoma City. They're down by 1. 23 seconds left in the fourth. What do you think, guys?
And really no need to rush. Still plenty of time to get a good look.
Well, if they've got a play that they use to get a quality shot, this is the time to run it.
By Ibaka. And the floater, it's in!
That was massive.
You know it. He's stepping right into the spotlight there.
Time called here. The Bulls decide to talk it over. They're behind by 1. 16 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. seconds left to play here in the fourth. Now Rose. From about 16. So a close game sees Oklahoma City taking this one. This win, such a tremendous emotional boost for them.
Really an accomplishment and crazy finish to take a road game like this and simply deflate an entire building.
And a chance now to send you over to Doris Burke, standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Russell, congratulations on this win. What were the main factors that helped you stay in control of this one down the stretch?
Just try to be aggressive. And we did a good job all game of staying aggressive. Our defense was key towards the end, and we did a good job of closing the game out.
Thank you so much. Back to you guys at the table.
Thank you, Doris. Great interview once again. And that about wraps it up. This is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for tuning in. And now to our good friend Ernie Johnson, who is standing by in the studio.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Many thanks, Kevin. So now we move on to our Jordan Player of the Game, Kevin Durant. He had just an outstanding fourth quarter performance. He really had the fire lit under him, and down the stretch, really having a huge impact on the outcome of this game.
There was nothing they could do to slow him down, Ernie. Man, you go into a building on the road and completely control the action like he did. Only a few players could do that, Ernie. I'm impressed.
This was vintage Kevin Durant we saw tonight, fellas. Just tearing it up. He's got the most diverse set of skills out there from an offensive standpoint. There isn't anything he can't do. And defensively, he can do it as well. It's almost impossible to count all the ways Kevin Durant helps his team.
And folks, that's it for us. Thank you for tuning in. Always a pleasure. For Kenny the Jet Smith, for Shaquille O'Neal, this is Ernie Johnson. Have a great night.